from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Bob Strickland. Gordon and Maureen are off tonight. Number 17 won't be in the huddle anymore for the Washington Redskins. Doug Williams led the team to the top of the football world with a spectacular MVP Super Bowl performance. Today, Coach Joe Gibbs announced that the team wants to go with youth in the pocket. Williams' contract will not be renewed.
These are tough decisions. Who knows whether you're right or wrong? Just make them. You have to make them. There comes a times where you have to make them, and I made this one. And hey, I could have been wrong, and Doug may go on with somebody and lead them to a Super Bowl, which would be great for him. And but this is one that I felt like I had to make, and I had to make it now.
Joe Gibbs and the Redskins took a gamble when they signed Williams in 1986, but as Nancy Mathis reports, the gamble paid off in a big way.
Wide right now, he goes in motion left. Williams. Touchdown. Clark. Going deep, he's got somebody this time.
Stardom did not come easily to Doug Williams. He treated his position with respect, and for that, the fans loved him even more.
I was the first one to really get a legitimate shot of showing that no matter what color you are, you can play the position if you have the abilities.
Doug Williams is the greatest.
Williams grew up in Zachary, Louisiana. His family saw him through some sad years. Williams' first wife died of cancer, leaving him a single parent. The break that was supposed to come with Tampa Bay turned into a lost opportunity. But when he moved to Washington, everything clicked. He remarried and, together with wife Lisa, established the Doug Williams Foundation for Disadvantaged Youth.
A lot of people think, like you said earlier, the gold chains, hey, that's the in crowd. Not necessarily. You know, I can buy all the gold I want. If I wanted gold, you know, the only gold I wear is this, and I earned it.
But fame for Williams came in a short, brilliant burst. He was plagued with injuries and even had to have an emergency appendectomy. Doug and Lisa divorced under highly publicized charges of infidelity. Finally, word came today, Doug Williams is no longer a Redskin.
I told him that I'd made a decision that we were going to go with the two young guys, and that I did not think that would be in his best interest or ours to have him try and go back now and do all the things that it would take to be in that quarterback, the third quarterback. And I just didn't think that'd be fair to him.
Williams may end up playing in some other city, but he is leaving Washington with some wonderful memories and a lasting impression that Doug Williams is a class act. I'm Nancy Mathis, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Later in sports, we'll hear more from Coach Gibbs. He'll talk about the future of the Redskins, a future without number 17. There are angry reactions tonight from pro-life advocates after Idaho Governor Cecil Andrus vetoed a bill that would have given his state the most restrictive abortion law in the nation.
It is not good legislation. I cannot in good conscience affix my signature to its passage. I did not take the oath of office for governor of the state of Idaho to put my name on bad legislation.
The bill was engineered by the National Right to Life Committee, hoping that enactment in Idaho or elsewhere would become a tool for the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn the Roe versus Wade decision that legalized abortion.
Millions of pro-life Americans are in this for the long haul and will be battling for protection of unborn children years from now. And this is disappointing, but we're going to keep coming back.
Pro-choice forces waged a powerful campaign against the measure and threatened an Idaho potato boycott if the governor signed the bill.
The #1 responsibility of government is to protect the lives and health of its citizens. And with this veto, Governor Andrus has admirably met that obligation, and we thank him for it.
Governor Andrus, a strong anti-abortionist, decried what he called outside influence and threats, but the governor said he was not influenced by the strong pro-choice campaign.
I am concerned that this bill may narrow it to the point where a woman who has suffered rape, incest, the mother's life is in danger, might not even be able to receive an abortion.
The test case bill would have banned about 95% of the abortions now permitted in Idaho. The veto effectively kills the measure there. State legislators concede they do not have enough votes to override the governor's veto. The U.S. Supreme Court today said it would rule this summer on whether Congress violated free speech rights when it outlawed burning of the American flag. The High Court will hear arguments in May. That's the first time a Supreme Court session has been held after the traditional April recess since 1981. Kent Jarrell has more.
The issue is on the legal fast track. Congressional legislation outlawing burning of the U.S. flag went into effect last October and was immediately challenged by protesters in Seattle, Washington, and on the steps of the Capitol. The Bush administration asked the Supreme Court to move quickly. The president has said he prefers a constitutional amendment that would state a ban on flag burning does not violate free speech. If the court throws the present law out in July, the Speaker of the House says he will bring up the constitutional amendment within 30 days. It would have to be approved by Congress and then ratified by 38 state legislatures. Debate on this politically touchy subject would erupt right before local and congressional elections set for next November. Kent Jarrell, Eyewitness News.
The Iran-Contra case of John Poindexter is expected to go to the jury next Monday. In closing arguments today, prosecutors asked jurors to convict Poindexter for trying to hide the Iran-Contra affair from Congress. But defense attorneys insisted that Poindexter had merely gotten in the middle of a political battle between the White House and Congress. Poindexter served as President Reagan's national security advisor. He was never called to the stand. President Bush has sent an urgent confidential letter to Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev about the situation in Lithuania. Though it's the first such communication since Lithuania declared its independence, the message is still the same.
Our views on this question of self-determination and all of that are well known around the world, but I do not want to risk misunderstanding by failing to communicate. So that's really what it's all about.
The president's letter to Gorbachev comes as the Soviets make another military move in the breakaway republic. Soviet troops launched a midnight raid on the chief prosecutor's office in Vilnius, Lithuania's capital. The troops moved in after the Lithuanian legal staff refused to take orders from their new boss, who was hand-picked by Moscow. And there's late word the Soviets have taken control of Lithuania's central newspaper printing plant. Lithuania's call for independence is being heard in other Baltic republics. The Estonian parliament has voted to set course toward independence from the Soviet Union. The Estonians have agreed to negotiate with Gorbachev, but for now they're taking another step toward breaking with Moscow. A steroid may offer new hope to victims of spinal cord injuries if doctors can move fast. We'll have details. And the questions appear to be adding up faster than the answers in the murder of a Maryland state trooper. We'll have the latest when Nightcast continues.
It's the final days at all Rosenthal locations. Hundreds of new Chevys, Jeeps, Eagles, and Mazdas must be sold during Bob Rosenthal's end-of-the-month clearance with up to $3,000 factory incentives passed directly to you, plus up to $2,500 price reductions. No negotiation necessary because nothing's held back. But it's only till the end of the month at Rosenthal Chevrolet, Geo, Jeep Eagle, and Bob Rosenthal's Arlington Mazda, both in Arlington, Virginia.
It's Mattress Discounters Price Slashing Anniversary Sale. Thousands of mattress sets are on sale, including the #1 rated Simmons Beauty Rest Royalty. Prices start from only $27. Plus, you receive a free heavy-duty steel bed frame with the purchase of every full, queen, or king-size set. Take one home today or we'll deliver with free setup and removal of your old bed. Mattress Discounters Price Slashing Anniversary Sale going on now.
Have a good night's sleep on us. Mattress Discounters.
Right now, during Maytag's Factory Direct sale, we're bringing you special savings on dependable Maytag washers with a 10-year warranty on the transmission. Big load dryers with permanent press cycle and jet clean dishwashers. And get the year 2000 money-back guarantee on our refrigerators. But if you don't hurry to Maytag's Factory Direct sale, you could be
out in the cold.
Save on Maytag now at Bray & Scarf, all Metro locations.
I'm afraid my story is very complicated, Harry. He's following him for her.
What did you say?
She's following him for her. She doesn't know he's got 2 more hers.
Daddy.
And he doesn't know he's supposed to be him.
What would that prove?
Harry?
Who is this guy?
Who's this guy?
Let's just say I'm very good at what I do.
Fooled me.
Love at Large.
Ah, life.
Rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
The mother of drug kingpin Rayful Edmond today was convicted of drug charges herself, along with 8 other family members and associates. A Washington jury convicted all 9 of conspiracy to violate narcotics laws. It carries a stiff penalty of 10 years to life in prison. U.S. Attorney Jay Stevens said today's verdicts, along with Rayful Edmond's earlier conviction, represents a sweeping victory in the fight against drugs in D.C. Maryland State Police tonight are coming up empty as they search for clues in the murder of a state trooper on I-95 in Jessup. 40-year-old Corporal Ted Wolf was shot to death while making what was believed to be a routine traffic stop. As Joan Gartland reports, investigators are grappling with a lot of unanswered questions.
Early this morning, Maryland State Police manned checkpoints along Interstate 95 in Jessup. They're hoping to find motorists who may have seen something while passing through the area yesterday. The search for suspects in the murder of 40-year-old State Police Corporal Ted Wolf went nationwide today. But aside from a description of 2 Hispanic male suspects, investigators acknowledge they don't have any firm leads to go on. There are, though, some puzzling questions. Why, for example, Corporal Wolf, a 16-year veteran and highly regarded traffic officer, featured in a Baltimore television news story 3 months ago, did not call in his location when he made the traffic stop Thursday morning. Standard procedure, according to State Police spokesman Chuck Jackson.
We have to ask ourselves if in the absence of that transmission, what transpired. Many things could have happened, including the prevention of any transmission, or perhaps no time to react, being prevented entirely from making a transmission.
State police believe the suspects were driving this 1988 blue Chevy Nova, found abandoned yesterday morning in Lansdowne in southwestern Baltimore County. There was blood inside the car, and Corporal Wolf's partially burned ticket book was found nearby. The car had been stolen earlier in the day from Mason Avenue near the Delray section of Alexandria. Police are trying to determine why the suspects were in Alexandria and why they chose Lansdowne to ditch the car.
Why Lansdowne? There were many opportunities to exit 95 northbound before 695. Hollands Ferry Road, the first exit off of 695. So we're looking at the pattern of travel along with other elements about the discovery of the stolen car in Lansdowne.
Composite photos of the 2 Hispanic suspects have been put together from the descriptions of witnesses in Jessup and Alexandria who believe they saw the men before the shooting. While investigators try to put together the puzzle, the mourning for Corporal Wolf, the father of 3 sons, continues. Flowers and cash contributions were sent today to his old state police barracks in Waterloo, along with the sympathy card from students at Thomas Johnson Middle School in Prince George's County. His funeral is planned for Monday. The reward for information leading to an arrest or conviction in the case went from $20,000 to $50,000 today. A private donor put up an additional $5,000, and Governor Schaefer says the state will put up an additional $25,000. In Jessup, Joan Gartland, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
The National Institutes of Health in Bethesda has some very encouraging news tonight for people who suffer spinal cord injuries. Researchers say massive doses of a steroid given within 8 hours of the injury can dramatically reduce paralysis. The drug, called methylprednisolone, is able to restore some feeling and movement in virtually all spinal cord injury patients. It cannot help patients whose spines are severed, but it appears the less severe the injury, the bigger the benefit of the drug.
You're talking 10 or 15 or 20% better chance. That doesn't sound like much, but I can tell you the difference of whether you can grab a cup or whether you can get out of a wheelchair.
The researchers rushed the release of the study and set up a hotline because a lot of spinal cord injuries happen to children on the weekend. Well, the new royal baby has a name, and it's not your average Tom, Dick, or Mary. And Doug Hill has a weekend weather forecast that's perfect for movie and museum goers. Stay with us.
Are you ready? Right now, your Washington area Hyundai dealers have not 20, not 50,
but 75 truckloads. That's over 700 new Hyundais to choose from during their factory-authorized truckload blowout. And every dealer is really dealing. Save up to $1,250 on selected 1990 XLs, or up to $1,500 on the powerful 1990 midsize Sonata. Don't delay. Pick up a truckload blowout deal now before they're all gone.
Is the threat of stiffer penalties for tax evasion nothing more than idle chatter? The new law has teeth. Businesses will be closed and locked, property seized. Chew on that for a while. A reminder from the Virginia Department of Taxation that tax amnesty is almost over, and when it ends, we'll be coming down very hard on tax evaders.
Driving Miss Daisy, winner, Best Picture of the Year.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to drive you to the stove.
And 3 additional Academy Awards, including Best Actress, Jessica Tandy.
I told you to have the air conditioning checked.
I don't know what for. Don't never allow me to turn it on.
And Best Screenplay, Alfred Urey. Driving Miss Daisy, the Best Picture of the Year. Driving Miss Daisy, rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
Quality of your life.
The quality of your life does matter.
Quality of your time.
Woody's Carnation Sale with 15 to 50% savings.
Quality of your choices.
A celebration of our commitment to first-class service throughout the store. Extra sales associates, extra savings, and extra special Spring Carnation Sale this Friday and Saturday.
Quality of your life.
The quality of your life matters at Woody's.
The Duke and the Duchess of York today left the London hospital with their new daughter, Eugenie Victoria Helena. The royal couple's second child will be known officially as Her Royal Highness the Princess of York. The 7-pound princess was delivered by cesarean section 1 week ago to the Duchess, the former Sarah Ferguson, and husband Prince Andrew. The child is 6th in line to the British throne. First in line to deliver our weather tonight is Mr. Doug Hill.
I wish somebody else would be doing it tonight because it's not good. I know you want to be on the golf course tomorrow.
Be brave.
You can go out there. Just wear a slicker and you'll have the whole thing to yourself.
Have some coffee and look out the window.
That's right. It's going to be a rainy weekend, I'm afraid. Tomorrow, we're going to see at least cloudy skies all day long. It looks as though the rain in the morning will be kind of very intermittent, spotty, kind of a drizzle. But later in the afternoon and tomorrow nights when the heavier rain will move into the area. Right now, we have some rain of our own around the area. Temperatures pretty much where they've been all day long, 43 degrees. That's our current after the high of 47. 96% humidity, a steady barometer, northeasterly winds, and good air quality. Take a look, first of all, at this little reminder for you. Tomorrow night is that time of year again. Before you go to sleep, Saturday night, tomorrow night, turn your clock ahead 1 hour for daylight saving time. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock, turn it ahead and it becomes 11 o'clock. Whenever you go to bed, turn it ahead an hour, all the clocks in the house, and you'll be set. Take a look now at the satellite. See all the moisture streaming out of the southwest and the Gulf of Mexico all day long. Even at this hour, we're covered with clouds, most of them low clouds with light rain in the immediate Washington area, a little heavier rain just to the west. All this moisture-laden air with one disturbance after another moving through. Every time a disturbance moves through the air mass, it triggers a round of showers and thunderstorms. Here's another view by radar. One patch off the east coast, another one. I'll stand way out of the way here so you can see everything. Watch all the heavy thunderstorm activity through the Gulf of Mexico during the evening. It's starting to break up just a little bit tonight. Here's the rain to our west and up in New England. Rain and snow from the northern suburbs of Boston up to Portsmouth and Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire and all the way up to Vermont and Maine. Heavy, wet snow falling. At least for us, it's going to be in the form of rain, anything around here. Tomorrow, another one of those waves will be moving through with the light rain in the morning. Or in drizzle, but then by later in the afternoon when this cold front and storm system gets closer, we'll start to pull up some of the shower and maybe even a heavier downpour from the south. Cool weather out west, but still no real cold air. Meanwhile, tomorrow that storm system will quickly exit the northeast. Temperatures tomorrow fairly mild in the 60s here, in the 70s to the south by Sunday. Another one of those waves of low pressure comes through and brings the whole kit and caboodle of rain with it, maybe even some thunderstorms on Sunday south and east of town. This system will slowly move through Sunday. Maybe by Sunday afternoon we'll get a break, but it's going to be sometime towards Tuesday or Wednesday before the fair weather, the clear weather, arrives here. Our Weather Center forecast overnight calls for skies to be cloudy with occasional light rain. Temperatures in the range of about 42 to 46. For the morning hours, cloudy, a patch of light rain or drizzle. Temperatures in the 40s to the low 50s. Then by afternoon, we should get southeasterly winds, push the temperatures in the low 60s, showers likely the afternoon and tomorrow night. Then on Sunday, cloudy and mild with more showers likely, the best chance of showers on Sunday in the morning. The 6-day outlook keeps the chance of showers in through Monday and Tuesday, widely scattered, then back to the sunshine by Wednesday and Thursday. Next weekend, maybe next weekend, it'll be nice and sunny outside for planting flowers and yard work. The grass will be that high already.
So we don't get to do the yard work tomorrow, but then we don't get to play golf either. I guess one out of two.
Balances out, huh?
1 out of 2 ain't bad. All
so
right.
they say.
Thank you.
All right.
The men's Final Four teams plan last-minute strategy for tomorrow's showdown, and the Virginia Lady Cavaliers tonight try to reach the women's final. Sports is next.
A jaguar is strong, graceful, silent, and swift. A jaguar is strong, graceful, silent, and swift. Any similarity is totally intentional. The V12-powered Jaguar XJS. Jaguar, a blending of art and machine. For the name of your nearest Jaguar dealer, call toll-free.
Again, this year, one airline is passing all the others. We have 185,000 more departures than Delta, 230,000 more departures than American, and we have 430,000 more departures than United. In fact, U.S. Air has more departures than any other airline in the free world. So if we sound like an airline that's really taking off, you don't know how right you are. U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer.
Hi, I'm Jim Coons. Ford challenged Coons Ford to sell 1,000 cars and trucks this month. So I went back to the factory and brought hundreds more. Imagine 10 to 40% off manufacturer's suggested retail price. 10 to 40% off. Match Ford's rebates and escorts are only $49.95. Rangers $59.95. Every single Coons Ford 10 to 40% off. But it all ends Sunday at 6 p.m. at the world's largest Coons Ford Falls Church in College Park.
At the Raleigh Spring Wardrobe Sale, almost every suit and tailored outfit in the store is under $400 when you buy two. Not two from last year, not two that nobody else wanted, and not two that only come in two sizes. So now you're probably asking yourself, do I really need two suits? Everybody needs two suits.
Hi, want to save $2 million? It's easy. Just buy 1,000 Isuzu Troopers at $13.5 million, and generous factory cash can help you save $2 million. Of course, you could buy just one and save up to $2,000, but remember, the more you buy, the more you could save. So think big. Buy 1 million Troopers and save $2 billion. You have my word on it.
Now, Isuzu's Sail into the 90s factory cash could save you up to $2,000 on a Trooper.
Good evening, Mr. Daly.
Good evening.
I know you're the bearer of sad tidings tonight.
Yes, for Doug Williams fans. And I think, Bob, that really there was no doubt the handwriting was really on the wall for Doug Williams. First of all, he was not protected by the club. He made a lot of money, and he's not very young, and he's certainly had some injury problems. Williams flew to Redskin Park today from Louisiana and is meeting with Joe Gibbs that lasted less than 1/2 hour.
Now it was a decision for me. Would it be best for the Redskins to ask a guy that's done all that, been to the top, to turn around and go back now and play behind two young quarterbacks and probably wind up on inactive for a bigger portion of the next year? That's the job that we were talking about, and that's the position that we were talking about.
So Gibbs thought it would be unfair and uncomfortable to keep Williams for a year. So obviously Gibbs is looking to youth. Their names are Rippon and Humphreys.
You know, we feel like we got two young guys there. We need, and Doug's situation, his career, where he is, you know, at 34, and all the other things about him, I just felt like that now's the time we need to take this step.
Short time ago, I chatted with Mark Rippon. He said that he was surprised by today's news. Rippon also said that he always looked up to Doug Williams, and he said that he would be missed. As for the future of Doug Williams, well, he may play somewhere else. He wants to play. His attorney, Brig Owen, said that several clubs have already expressed interest in Doug Williams. We'll see. By the way, quarterback Jeff Rutledge will sign with the Redskins. Now, if only the Bullets could play the Magic a bit more. Washington just eats up on this ball club tonight at the Capitol Center. It was 143 to 115. The Bullets had a break working nicely off the miss. Charles Jones would get it to Bernard King. He would finish business with 32 points. Near the end of the first half, seconds to go, Tommy Hammonds races to the baseline. Fades, beats the buzzer, and the Bullets are up by 6 at the half. The Bullets scored 141 points the last time they played Orlando, and tonight it was 143 to 115, a new season high for Washington. The women's Final Four was tonight in Knoxville. The first game found the Virginia Cavaliers losing to Stanford 75-66. We get a look here at the Women's Player of the Year. Jennifer Azzi of Stanford, all by herself for the score, ties it up at 18. Later on, the Cavaliers, Tammy Reeves will steal, then fire a nice helper on to Heidi Berg, but UVA trails by 6 at the beginning of the half. Azzi again. She's a player with the court savvy, too, and the spin move. She wouldn't get it to go, but it didn't matter. Stanford beats Virginia 75-66. Well, basketball, men's Final Four is all set to go out there in Denver, Colorado, and no surprise, UNLV continues to be the favorite to win it all, but the Runnin' Rebels coach says, Jerry Tarkanian, at this late stage of the tournament, anything can happen.
It's a one-game elimination. If it was a 7-game series, the best team would probably win. But in a one-game situation now, whoever has the best game gets the right bounce of the ball, maybe gets the key call from an official, it can win it.
The Orioles and Expos battle to extra innings today. Down in West Palm Beach in the 11th inning, tied at 2. Larry Walker will single in the pinch runner, Dave Martinez. Steve Finlay will try to make a big play here. Makes the big effort, but it's not enough for the Orioles. He comes up short, and Montreal beats the Birds 3-2. Jack Nicklaus had a nice round of golf today. It was his first senior tour event. Strick out there in Scottsdale, Jack with his first tee shot, and Nicklaus would finish the day with a nice 71, helped by this birdie putt, his first bird on the senior tour. The shot of the day, though, as we zero in there on George Archer, he would hit it stiff to the pin, 160 yards away. What do you use, a 5-6 iron at that age? Good for eagle. Yeah, well, most of us would drive it. And Jack Nicklaus had a good round today. 5:30 tomorrow right here on Channel 9. Duke and Arkansas, Tech and UNLV. Basketball hoops forever, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Love it.
That'd be terrific.
Right.
All right, sir, you have the last word. Thank you for joining us. Good night.